start to have some boundaries, speaking
Mhm.
your truth so that you know where you end and the world begins and you have value for yourself.
Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. And welcome everybody to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. I am so grateful to be with you today. Another amazing guest. Hey, empaths. Yeah, of course, it's you. Oh, no, I'm not empathic. I'm sensitive. All right. Then you're an energy sensitive. You're basically an empath. Okay. So you're a healer type. All right. That's great too. Like whatever type you are, I'll tell you what, we've got a guest here that can help you with all that. She helps you with really mastering, your abilities and really helping you to understand like how to work with that gift of being an empath mastery, right? So we want to
Yes.
really dive into that today. She's dedicated her life and soul to it, I want to say. And you'll find some good content online on YouTube and whatnot about this from her too. But don't look at her stuff just yet. You gotta stay with us for a while because you want to learn from her with our dialogue here. Plus, I want to show her or help her see more ways or give her more insight or support and continue to grow her business, even doubling her revenue. So you want to stick around for that because it might give you ideas about your business and how maybe it wants to expand in similar ways. All right, so Marti, really great to have you on the show today. We got Marti Forrest here.
Thank you for inviting me. This is fabulous.
All right. So, Marti, yeah, we met through Joel, I guess. Like I'm thinking about how did we meet?
Did,
Oh
yes.
yeah, Joel's just so awesome. I was with him last night. I had tech issues. It took like 25 minutes for my tech to work. He was so patient. He's just sitting there writing notes. He's probably a little irritated, but he's sitting there writing notes, just waiting for it all to work. He's so nice. He's just a nice man. So I'm so
He is
grateful for
totally
him.
trusting the divine timing. If it's not
Yeah.
working, we know, right? We just know that flow.
Oh yeah. So okay, so if for you so you so how long you been an empath? You know, like I want to ask a question like that. Like how long has this been going on for?
Probably how long have I known I've been an
Right,
empath?
right, right. Hey, hey.
Probably, let's say 20, 25 years, maybe, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So as a kid, just 'cause I get sort of quick downloads, uh,
Yes.
I mean, I'm not sure, but was it sort of like a little bit like a little frozen at times in your energy because you're just so sensitive, or how was it for you? Or were you like kind of both, like frozen? Then once you felt like okay, I'm leading now, I'm going to share and I'm going to express. Or tell me, I'm kind of curious how it was for you.
Oh, let's see. Frozen, yes, because I was terrified to speak in
Yeah.
front of people. And growing up, I didn't know I was empathic, and I would just shut down. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
was a challenge. That was the challenge, probably that sticky point of coming out to be able to talk. I did a lot of Toastmasters for about 10 years. I did Toastmasters to learn how to speak well in front of
Nice.
people. And it's very natural today, but it wasn't. It wasn't at all because I couldn't speak. I was terrified to speak. And they say that's like the people's most terrifying thing in life is to speak in front of people for many, many reasons. For me, part of what they would think, and partly because I was feeling everything and I didn't know how to manage that. So
Mm.
I couldn't, I just like lots of throat chakra stuff. I just
Yeah.
couldn't. I would freeze and everything would be empty in my head. So,
That's funny. I just experienced that today. I was feeling so much energy. I'm like, okay, I was trying to remember someone's name. It might have even been one of my other guests today or something. Somebody's name. Oh no, it was actually one of my clients' names. Like I should know every one of my clients' name easily, right? I'm like, yeah, we got that call with that client of mine. What's that name again? Like, because she's a little
close
bit more.
out, right?
Yeah, I was like, what's the name? Like, that's how caught up in the energy we can get,
Yeah.
right? Like, I
Yes.
experienced, like, I was talking to my daughter and I was caught up in some energy loop. And uh, I was like, yeah, just, like this thing happened over the weekend. She's like, when did it happen? I'm like, On Saturday when we were doing the thing, I was so embarrassed I didn't even remember what we did on Saturday. When we were doing the thing, she's like, "Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, it was graduation. Kira got graduated like it
Oh,
could
big
be
big
anything, like
event.
it's blank." So I totally understand that. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and that happens even today. I don't freeze like that, but the thoughts will float away, and I'll be like, I have no idea what I was just talking about. So
Right. I
yeah,
mean,
that happens.
it's refreshing for people to have that same experience to hear that because I'm like, what's wrong with my brain? Do I need to, I'm gonna go losing my marbles? Like, but I think as you do get a little bit older, like this narrative starts in your head, and I try to cut it off at the past, but it shows
Yes.
up like, oh, I'm getting older. Maybe that's what it is. But no, I probably was like that when I was 20 too. I mean, like, I just also
Yes.
go blank. Yeah.
Well, I was doing a lot of different things when I was 20, but yes. So there's also, if we think about all the energy that's coming in,
Right. Right.
so
True.
much noise.
Different. Yeah.
And while we might not be taking it on, we're still feeling it. And so, yeah, it's a lot. It can be a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we got phones alone, right? A phone alone will scramble your brain more when you think about it. Like it's got its
Yes.
wonderful uses, but it's also scrambling us too. So I know as an empath, yeah, we have all these experiences, and I know although there is no perfection, right, of anything, you really
Yeah.
help people to master dealing with all these energies that they're picking up on, and how to work with all that. So what are like some of the like foundational things that people that you work with people when they're empaths and when they say like I just can't do anything, I'm overwhelmed by all the world, all the energy in the world, and I just can't deal with it. I mean, I have people that are empathic that they can't work even because they're so jammed up with energy.
Yes. They're like a sponge.
Yeah.
So and I was like a sponge for a long time. So, and because I was so enmeshed in my family, I had no idea what was me and what was them and what was their energy and what was my energy. So that's number one right there is learning where you end and the world begins so that you can be discerning about what's you and what's them. I didn't even know who I was. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're in that place of I can't work. I can hardly function because I can't stop feeling it all. I have a client like that and ended up moving back home because they couldn't differentiate and it made them sick because we get empath illnesses because we don't know how to discharge the energy and clear it from our system. And so we take all that on. And then we're wondering what's wrong with us. Why do I feel so exhausted all the time? And some of it's real. It's a real bone weary tired because our nervous system is so on all the time. So there's several things that happen in that. So what I
Mm-hmm.
help, especially when they're new, to just start to have boundaries. That's the number one thing. Start to have some boundaries, speaking
Mm-hmm.
your truth so that you know where you end and the world begins and you have value for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're so busy regulating and working on everyone else unconsciously, completely unconscious, because it's so natural to us and we've done it since we were in the womb, likely.
Right.
And then now we're like, what, how do I do it not regulating them? Who am I if I'm not doing that thing? What's my identity if I'm not
Let, let, yeah,
fixing
let's
the world?
Wow. So you're really going deep fast because like I'm like, okay, like that's a whole concept in itself to unpack, right? Like we're busy trying to regulate the energy around us and in the world. And we're not just trying to regulate our energy, we're actually trying to regulate all the energy around us.
Yeah. And we
Yeah.
don't know that. We're not even aware of that until we're aware of it.
Right. Right.
And then once we're aware of it, how do we do something different?
Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free meditate, make money meditation today.
Mm-hmm. Because I know, growing up there was I don't know. My household was kind of like, well, I was considered, like the prince, like I was the youngest of two, and my sister, is 5 years older, and then she would be uh, at some point, in high school, I suppose, and beyond, like she was kind of in trouble, fairly regularly, right? Like it's in trouble again. It's, she's always, they're always on her, right? And then I'd be like doing my own mischief probably, but like nobody, I was so nice around everybody that I would just get passed over, right? But like I remember that feeling though all the time with the chaos of the energy and like still crazy things like putting up Christmas trees. It's like people would just I don't know, it's similar in other people's households. I just remember the fighting. We gotta put this up first. No, 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 whatever it is. Like this is sometimes a Christmas tree. And I'm like, oh my God, like I thought this was supposed to be fun. And I just feel this heaviness of managing this energy. Like, and
Yeah,
I always felt like I'm the peacekeeper, right? Like,
oh,
oh,
for
you gotta
sure.
understand, Lenora, my sister. I'll just throw her name out there. I shouldn't probably share her name, but anyway, my sister, okay. um, uh, I would be like, you gotta understand where she's going, what's going on with her, and then go to my maybe my mom or whatever. Oh, and she's like, and I would like to talk to my sister, say you gotta understand where where mom's coming from, or what, like constantly like trying to
Communicating.
work things out, and
Yes.
like that
Yep.
becomes like this role. I think a lot of us, end up finding ourselves in. And we're not doing it verbally; we're doing it energetically, is what you're saying.
It's often more energetic.
Yeah.
There are some of us that speak up. I learned to be quiet really early because it wasn't safe to speak up. And so it was absolutely more of the energetic and the peacekeeper, like you said.
Hmm.
And then we walk around being the peacekeeper, a lot of us, maybe not everyone,
Hmm.
and just trying to navigate what you're talking about your family. I'm like, oh yeah, I used to do that stuff too. The more I
Hmm.
could understand, the more I could justify their behavior and help you understand. And then it's just it's not fun and it's not easy, but it's what we learn.
Right. Right. Yeah, because it's like this, because I don't know. For me, I just felt like it was all a bunch of, I want to say nonsense. Like, why are you guys getting all so upset about this and that and the other
Exactly.
thing?
Yes.
And like, this is just insanity. And that's where my reactivity, I think, comes into this day in a sense. Like back then, I think I was more calm with it. Like, but I'd feel the heaviness. It'd be really heavy in my energy, but I would just still I wouldn't speak out or anything. I just, try to hold a space of peace. And then as I've gotten older, as you speak up more, and like so then it can come out a bit harsh, so our empathic nature
I've been
is still
told that
there. But
before.
sometimes all of a sudden now we're getting sharp because I've been holding on for decades. Now I'm going to really speak my truth. Like they could flip
From
around
one
later,
extreme to the
right?
other, right?
Right, right, right,
You can talk now, we're going to talk, you're going to know it all. Yes.
right,
And,
right,
and eventually that comes back, hopefully in the middle. I've learned
right,
that I go from one extreme to the other, and then I come back to the middle and it's
yeah,
regulated.
right.
Yeah, it felt like nonsense then. And then the deeper our awareness as we
Hmm.
mature in our life and understand this, I don't know what else to call it besides a gift. So to understand the gift that we have of being highly sensitive, then we have no room for the nonsense. I have no tolerance for the nonsense. So I either just move away from it or I speak up. Why is it so important? Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, having those tools, right, of how to, release the energy. I mean, that's what I have to. I do the scanning stuff, and I have to, uh, I still have to I could put up shields, all the different techniques, but even after, no matter how many techniques I would use, I would still need to discharge energy after I tune into someone more deeply. It's like, or even if you didn't do a scan, right? Sometimes you just need to release the energy anyway, right? Every day, right? It's constantly
Every day.
clearing it up, right? You got. I think it's good for everybody, really, whether you consider yourself an empath or not.
Absolutely true. I did massage therapy for a lot of years. Since
Hmm.
98, I was a massage therapist. So intimately in their space. I had to know how to discharge at the end of the day.
Hmm.
That was one
Hmm.
of the first things my teacher taught us. So sometimes it was just as simple as, doing this, go wash my hands.
Hmm. Wash your hands. Clean your hands like this, like for people
Yeah,
that are on audio, like this.
wash away the energy,
Wash
and
away with
then
your hands like this,
and
going back and forth. Yeah.
and it was always such an innate, natural thing. Even before I knew anything about being an empath, anything really about energy, it just was a flow. I had no way to really
Mhm.
turn it off. I did Reiki. I was
Mhm.
a with Reiki, but it was just such a natural thing. I don't
Mhm.
really use Reiki because it just flows through me. So, and then to turn it off, try to turn it off when I'm working on someone, it's near impossible.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
just such a part of what we do. And now I don't do as much massage, but even in working with people like this, being on Zoom or being in person. Yeah, someone reached out to me today and I hadn't talked to her in a couple of years and it was a weird ending. And she reached out and I was so happy to hear from her. We had done some work together, but then I started to feel this like, this right here, this like
Uh-huh.
heavy, kind of excited. And I'm like, what?
Mhm.
Cut the cords. Right then, cut the
Mhm.
cords, return her energy to her. And then I felt better.
Yeah.
That's one of the
Yeah.
tools. If you feel it, as soon as you feel it, cut the cords, return it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, yeah. I probably could double down on that myself. So, uh, right. So,
Yeah,
uh,
of course.
yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, one of the things I've enjoyed doing at times, I'm not tremendous at it, although, I've got a little flair for it. It's like, I feel people's energy so much, you'll feel like you really are almost them, right? I am you. I mean, I feel your energy so strong. I basically am you. So I do imitations, right? Like, so when I'm around someone's energy field, like whoever it be you, anybody, and like once I'm in your energy field just for just a little bit, especially then, right afterwards, if I were to do an imitation, I may not be a great imitation, but sometimes if I could do the voice, like you must think I am that person. Like I feel their energy so strongly,
Yeah.
and so like I even find, and I think this is true for all of us to again the different levels. But like after I talk with somebody, like I mean, right after this call, I'm gonna be feeling immediately, unless I clear the energy more, I'll be like. I'm kind of thinking like Marty right now, like it literally is that strong. It's really wild.
We all have that capacity.
Yeah, yeah,
Every
totally.
single human being has that capacity. Sometimes I've just been tuned a little higher in the
Yeah,
sensitivity.
yeah.
And a lot of people just ignore it and turn it off.
Hmm.
I
Right.
don't know how to do that either. I'm better at I'm much better and improved at taking care of my own space, staying in my own lane,
Yeah.
minding my business. It doesn't mean that I don't feel everything. I still feel it. I
Mhm.
just don't have to take it on like it's my own.
Right. Right.
And that's
Exactly.
sometimes just the simple distinction. Of course, we feel it all. And we're not going to stop that.
Right. Right. No, that's a good point. I mean, because I think sometimes people are trying to manage that, right? Like with their addictions, right? Let me get another whatever, like whatever it
I don't
is.
want to feel all that. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. The only way I know how to help you is to learn how to be in coherence with yourself, calibrate your energy
Hmm.
so you can be grounded and centered. You're not going to stop feeling it. That's
Right.
just not going to happen. That's not been my experience. I'll say that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I guess anything's possible, right? But not, yeah, me too. So. So how do people know, like, if they're like, yeah, I don't know, I guess, yeah, I would say I'm really sensitive and yeah, I don't know, I feel heavy and everything, but like maybe they're not quite sure how much it's impacting them. Maybe they're a little confused, not quite clear on that is what my point. What are some of the signs that they're I know some of them are obvious, but like it's worth going over. Like, what are some of the signs like someone's really leaking a lot of energy because they're very sensitive to energy? What would be some of the like signs really that they're an empath in that regard?
Yeah, well, sometimes I'll ask somebody before I've asked them, are you an empath? They're like, what is that? Are you highly sensitive? Oh yeah, they know
Yeah,
that
yeah,
term.
yeah, yeah.
Mm, sometimes it's, are you exhausted when you've been spending time with a lot of people? And I have some empath friends that are extrovert
Yeah, yeah.
and really had to slow down to feel how much they were actually taking on in the
Hmm.
crowds because they do generate their energy that way.
Right.
The majority of empaths I know are more introverted. So
Yeah.
some things are very obvious. Somebody comes around and you're like, what happened? I'm suddenly exhausted. I have no energy.
Hmm.
Often we also do that over explaining, over functioning. Let me help you. It's very unconscious a lot of times until it's not.
Right.
And even when it's not, where I have been moving into is those micro, subtle moments that we leave, abandon ourselves because we caught something in the ethers that shifted or changed. And then we start to unconsciously regulate again. So some of those are just really paying attention, becoming the observer in your life. There are, one of the other ways is some people that you're just going to avoid because you look at them or you feel them and you're like, nah, no. And you go around them. They'll not go around you because they don't want to be around you because you activate something for them. That happens too. Noticing, that's one of the cues, is noticing the dread. The dread that I don't want to talk to that person because I don't feel good when I talk to that person. And I don't know why I don't feel good when I talk to that person. They're too negative. Maybe they're not always negative. When they come around you, though, they automatically have plugged in energetically.
Yeah.
And so they're siphoning energy from you. And they
Right.
feel good, and you walk away feeling exhausted or angry or sad and wondering, why am I feeling all of that? I felt fine 25 minutes ago before the conversation.
Right.
So that's one of the big clues is, what do you feel in that moment? We often don't pay attention because we're so busy being the people pleaser or trying to regulate. Or if I look at my phone and I'm like, no, I can't talk to them right now. That's like fine. Or if you just go, oh, and then you answer out of obligation.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're like, why did I do that?
Right.
Because now I feel some kind of way about it. So we do it out of obligation. It's what we've always done. They might be mad at me. They might reject me. But what are we doing to ourselves?
Right.
We're doing that exact thing. I'm doing the exact thing to myself. I'm abandoning me to be available for someone else who doesn't really give a rip about me. Not really. They
Yeah.
only like to be around me because of what they can get.
Right. Exactly.
Even if I'm not speaking, right? Even if we're not speaking, they just come and word vomit everywhere and they feel better. You're like,
Right. Well, yeah, all the better. They don't want you to speak. Just sit there and absorb.
that's right. Just absorb it. They leave and they feel good. And you're
Right.
like, what just happened? Oh,
Right. Right. Just vomit all their stuff. Right. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's definitely my experience in my life. I mean, yeah. So without getting too personal about, how that works in my life, but like, yeah, a close family member or whatever, it's like,
yes.
oh, they'll spend 30 minutes, 30 seconds, or, it varies, but like it could be 30 seconds, 60 seconds. If you get lucky, they might even be so generous to give you 3 minutes to let you speak first, right? Hey, how you doing? Well, blah, 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 blah. You can even tell them something phenomenal. I just won like the lottery and I'm getting married and this and that. And oh, that's nice. Hey, guess what? Blah, 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 blah.
When somebody does that in my family, I just think to myself, do you really want to know? You don't really care. Because all you want to do is
Yeah.
talk about yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They literally in that moment at least they don't care. Like I believe some of them do care, deep down inside ultimately, but they're
Sure,
so
sure. Your blood.
self-absorbed trying to deal with their own stuff and they just know like you're gonna help because they can just dump all this on you. That's the only thing they're focused on. They're just
Yes,
you just have just you and whatever you're going for, whatever. I need to unload. So
exactly.
yeah,
That's
it's
right.
it's
That's
quite
right.
quite a quite a deal. And now you could try to set limits and jump in there and stuff. And I find some results with that, but it depends on the person. Like sometimes you can work that out in communication and get that better. But sometimes people just don't care. Just they'll talk right over you. I mean, it's really wild. But that is a danger that we run into, especially when we're empathic, because they know like it's powerful just to let you just absorb it. Yeah.
they know and they don't know how they know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So if if you have friends that the only time they call you is when they need something
Right.
or they want something
Right.
that they're just using.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Now, sometimes I'm imbalanced. Like I'll start talking like crazy to someone else that's an empath or is really open to listening. But then I catch myself. I'll be like, wait a minute, I've been talking a lot. What's going on with you? Not telling me. And I'll start listening, right? Like,
Right?
but some people are really quiet, right? And it's just like, okay, I guess I'll be talking here. Yeah. But yeah, try to draw, you have to remember, for me, I have to remember some people are so quiet. They need questions. They really need questions to draw them forward. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's a whole range of empaths, right, that you work with. You have the people that get completely shut down, ill, they're in bed, they're with sicknesses all the time. And then you have like what you call you reference like high functioning empaths. So they might have a corporate career or whatever. They're doing all kinds of things, but they too have like enormous stress. Maybe they don't sleep well. Maybe they again have addictions or they have all kinds of different relationship issues and all kinds of things going on. But they too are absorbing, but they look like they're they're doing a lot of stuff. They're extroverted and everything, but they too are suffering tremendously, and it really catches up to them over time.
Yes, it does. I've said it. I've experienced it. If you don't take care of yourself, you don't take care of your body, your energy, your body will kick your ass and it will
Yeah.
put you down because
Mhm.
it needs to rest and reset. But so many of us have never been taught how
Mhm.
to rest and truly reset and let the nervous system reset itself. So that's where we get in there's just real subtle micro moments that have humongous impact in our life personally, where we learn how to stay in ourselves and not leak it out there to regulate even a little bit.
Mhm.
I've caught myself. Just,
So how do
oh,
you do that? How do you make sure you're not regulating so unconscious? It just
it
it's
is so
happening.
unconscious, and it's a lot of when we start to over explain. So it's, are we actually communicating or are we trying to regulate? And when I'm over explaining something or I'm over functioning for somebody or I'm micromanaging things, then I am leaking energy and I'm trying to regulate the conversation so that they can feel okay.
Mhm.
I noticed a change. I said something, my husband said something to me one day. I was upset and I just needed to go through it. And he said, I can't join you. But he'd been trying to make me laugh.
Mhm.
And I said, I'm not asking you to join me, but please stop trying to stop how I'm feeling.
Mhm. Mhm.
And he went, and then I jump in. I'm not trying to make you angry or hurt your feelings. And I caught it right then and I stopped talking. So
Mhm.
when we catch it, it's a process, right? We
Yeah.
start doing it and you're down the road, you're like, dang it. And you stop.
Mhm.
And then I catch it in the moment and I stop.
Mhm.
Then we become more of the tuning fork because we've stated our truth. I stated my truth. I didn't need to say anything else, but I
Right.
saw his reaction and I did.
Mhm.
Now I don't do that, but when I stop, it allows the energy then to regulate to me and my vibration rather than me adjusting to what just happened and in that reaction. So a
Mhm.
lot of our stuff that we do is reactionary. You had mentioned it. We react because that's how we've been taught and programmed.
Mhm.
When
Yeah.
we can stay still and let it be uncomfortable, the energy will regulate to you.
Mhm.
And it takes practice. It's just a practice because we're so used to doing the thing, and the nervous
Mhm.
system is wired for that thing,
Mhm.
regulation of other people. And so when we stop doing that, every time we stop doing it, we shift and reset our own nervous system, creating
Mhm.
safety for ourselves. And
Mhm.
then we can trust. At some point, we start to trust. Oh, when I do that, stay with me, the environment starts to adjust to me. I become the thermostat instead of the thermometer where I'm adjusting to everyone else. Did you ever do, I've done this most of my life, come into a room of people, full of people, and I'm scanning the whole room to see where I can go and belong and fit in.
Oh, of course.
I'll
Yeah.
be the wallflower for a while, and then I scan to see where I'm going to go and plant myself for a while till it gets awkward or weird or uncomfortable, and then I'll leave that conversation and go do something else.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, I probably, in a sense, yeah. I mean, it depends on the setting. I mean, I'm usually like it's just purely social. I'm usually with my wife, but so it's pretty easy. I
Yeah.
just kind of follow wherever she wants to go half the time. I mean, okay, where do you want to go? If it's
I
a
can be that
whole,
way with my
wide
husband,
open type of social situation, right? But yeah, I mean, when I'm on my own, when I've been in conferences and stuff like that, yeah, I would say that there's truth to that. I think I'm also tuning in to see, yeah, where the frequency is of who I'm
Mhm.
really supposed to talk to too, right? So it's
Yes,
kind of
absolutely.
both of those things, but like, and then sometimes I force myself to talk to people where I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I really should talk to them, but maybe it'd be a good idea for me to do that because I don't want to, I don't want to explain it, but like maybe I should be with their energy, even though part of me wants to avoid it, right? So I get brave and just like, okay, I'm gonna
So
talk to them anyway.
are you overriding your intuition and your body, what it's telling you? Or is there something, because sometimes there's something for us to learn, like maybe
Yeah,
spirit's
exactly.
leading
That's what I
us
mean.
and
Like
we're
it's a
going,
feeling.
now,
It's
like this
like
tug of
like
war
I
between me and
like
spirit.
especially if I have judgment towards somebody, I might actually approach them because I'm like,
Yes.
wait a minute, I'm judging them, and let me get to know who they really are. And sometimes that works out really well, right? Your judgments were way off, like, or maybe you're like, yeah, they're jerks, just like I thought.
Sometimes it is that. And
Right.
confirmation,
Yeah.
there's a s- there's a what's the word I want? Like there's a strong place of unlearning and then learning how to trust ourselves and listen to our body.
Yeah.
And also learning when spirit, creator, God, whatever you call that, is nudging you, and you're like, no, I don't wanna. So, but you're being nudged. And
Mm-hmm.
it's learning what those cues are in your body
Mm-hmm.
to know, and then not overriding. It takes less than 3 seconds, and your brain
Mm-hmm.
will override.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take long at all. So for us, it's learning because we weren't
Yeah.
taught how to trust.
Right.
I was taught
Right.
you trust your elders, you respect your elders, whether they're respectable or not. So
Right. Right.
so
Right.
then some things happen that were not really very cool, and so learning because
Right.
I overrode as a kid. I overrode. I knew. I knew it was
Mm-hmm.
not going to be good, and I was supposed to respect my elders, and so I went and followed them.
Right. Right. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's true. Although I get chirpy once I got to be more, adolescence, like so. I'm like, okay, guys, you're full of it. Like I didn't say it that way at all, but like, yeah, you're full of
Right.
it. Everything you're saying is wrong, but even saying it nicer, like I got backlash, of course. Like, well, you always argue with us. Why don't you agree? And whatever the issue was, and it's like because you're clearly like don't know, either don't know what you're talking about or just really fixed in your position, and it's ridiculous. So yeah. But I mean, I would have to speak up. It's what I started feeling more and more, and I guess I finally felt safe enough. When you're a little kid, like, oh my God, you don't even consider speaking up sometimes, right? Because you're so vulnerable, right? But as you get older and you feel more capable, right? Then, hey, maybe I could survive on my own. Like unconsciously, is probably what we're thinking, right? And then we realize, well, maybe I can speak up, and so we start doing that and learning from that. So, man, we could go on and on, but there's all kinds of ways that you teach all this stuff. I want to say night and day, and share all this, and this is really invaluable. I mean, for empaths, I'll definitely be thinking about all the things you've been talking about. So I know you work with people in various ways. You've got a book. I don't know, you got all these different ways. So I would love to now review here towards the second half of the show here, more about exactly how you help people. What are the various ways? So I want to get Marty, you're the one for me. Like I need help. What are some of the services? First, I mean, you got to like again, you wrote a book. You had told me, but also, yeah, what are the different ways people can access your expertise and services?
At the moment, I've been doing one-on-one, and then I have the Empath channel, which is a group where we meet a couple times a month and do group coaching, and we meet on Telegram. I drop in different tips and tools in Telegram, sometimes just checking in my own experiences and what I've learned and checking where they are.
Mm-hmm.
One-on-one is you have a deeper dive.
Mm-hmm.
All deep. I don't know how to not be deep. So let's just be clear about that. You said it in the beginning. You just dove right in. I'm like, yeah, I do. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I do a pulse check before I deep dive in. Because some people got to go a little slower. But definitely that's where the one-on-one and everybody's a little bit different. I've been working with a teenager actually and just learning how to cope.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's so highly sensitive and then tends toward the depression, and she's in a household where there's a lot of yelling, and so it's just giving her some tools to learn how to cope in that and to take care of her own energy even though she's still feeling it all, but to not take it on.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
then teaching her ways to trust herself. It's been
Right.
amazing. It's been a lot of fun. And then so there's some that are like that. It's just learning some basic coping skills. And then we get into those higher functioning where it's much more subtle and we're paying attention to those much subtler layers of staying and not abandoning yourself and not doing the over functioning and becoming aware.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're in my space and my energy for the whole time that we're together. So they get to be calibrated throughout that whole time. Same thing in the empath channel. I do the calibration to keep them on the path they're on or on track.
So tell me more about you've kind of been talking about it through everything you've been saying, but tell us more about helping to calibrate them.
Yes, I was looking at some of your stuff and it was really about reading the energy field
Mm-hmm.
and where are we leaking and how can we come back? How can we stop the leak? How can I help you show you it's helping you remember why you're here? Because we've
Mm-hmm.
forgotten a lot. And it tapping back into our original blueprint of who we came here to be in this lifetime. We've been preparing for a long time to be here right now, to assist with this planetary stuff happening and the energies and the people. So I get to read that, help calibrate, course correct, and then you get to go do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the dance. That's kind of the dance that we do together because we're all
Mm-hmm.
doing our own part.
Mm-hmm.
So helping us to remember from the time probably in my 20s, I would say maybe even as a kid, I feel like I just knew there was more and I didn't know how to access it. I know I have more capability. I know I have these gifts. I know I have this power, and I just couldn't get there.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're getting there. And so I get to show others how to get there and how to tap into those places that have been programmed out. Is that the way I want to say that? We've been
Mm-hmm.
programmed and taught to not listen,
Right.
trust, and then the vibration continues to rise. And so we have access to more of those, for lack of a better word, powers. Not in a way
Mm-hmm.
that it's power over anyone, but in a way that
Right.
empowers and helps
Right.
us to be the tuning fork instead of adjusting to the environment adjusts to us.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
deeper the memory, the clearer we are in who we are, the less words we use to set our boundaries because we're so clear in our energy. that words are
Right.
not necessary.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So great. That's deep. Deep stuff. You're just so deep. I just have to have fun with that. But you've got the one-to-one containers. You've got the group you mentioned. Now, in the one-to-one container, is it well, we worked together for 3 months or 6 months, or is it like a session-to-session thing, or how does that work?
I've done session to session. I've done one, like some people only want to do one time and they get calibrated and course corrected and on they go.
Hmm.
I prefer the longer containers.
Yeah. Okay.
The 3 to 6
So is that?
months, so we really get in and get you on some more solid ground,
Hmm. Yeah.
truly aware of where you're leaking in the subtlest nuances of where we make something okay that's not.
Mm,
Because we don't want to hurt their feelings. I had something
right.
just happen like that, and it's she's old, and I should just get over myself, and but she's just an ass sometimes,
Yeah.
and so eh, I have completely cut off. That's not really how I want to say that. I have totally stepped into my lane and stopped regulating that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the clarity for me, is I get to stop regulating. I can show up however I need to, but I'm no longer regulating
Right.
their
Right.
energy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
Sneaky, insidious, subtle ways our brain does that.
well, the thing is like, I caught myself the other day. I'm in business, so I get all, well, we all do, but nowadays, but like I'm in business, so maybe even a little bit more for me. You get offers every day to do things, hey, you want to do this? Hey, you want, advertising, this, that, I mean, the list, coaching,
Endless, yeah.
healers, like we got endless opportunities, right? And people show up in different ways. So this was a good, someone I actually, have worked with before and done things with. And she's reached out again, and I was grateful because it was like I like working with this person. She's like, okay, I got one of these, I got one of these two opportunities, and I'm like, okay, I'll tune in. I'm a sacral authority, they say, right? So I'm like, oh, I'll tune in to sacral, let me do that,
I
So
am
I
a
tune.
projector.
Yeah. And then I'm manifesting generator. So, but I go ahead and I'm tuning into the sacral, and I'm actually getting a yes on one of the two opportunities. But you see, where I go beyond like what they teach with that stuff, and they would always have an explanation of, well, it's just still true that you should listen to your sacral, but you're not doing it right, or whatever they say. But I got a
Right?
yes. I got a yes, and but then I asked the question in a new way, though, right? That yields different results. I said, if I wasn't trying to please this person, would it still be a yes? And I got a no right away. I'm like, you sure wouldn't be then. Like,
So you had a little mixed signal there. Great
yeah,
job.
yeah. So at the end, like I just felt like no, like you would only be doing it because for the opportunity, but also just feeling like you don't want to lose opportunities in the future. You got to make them happy, so you don't want to upset them. Then they might never come back to you again, and all
Oh
these.
yeah, all that abandonment stuff. Yes, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So like I had to catch myself and be like, okay, no, that's people pleasing, it's type of stuff. I've got to say no, and I did, and it went really well. She was like, great, no problem. I got another offer for you by next week, though, but which is fine. I appreciate the
Those are
opportunity.
the subtleties, right? Those are the subtle things that if you hadn't asked it different, you might have gone through with it and then been like, what was this?
Right. I got a yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's what,
Exactly.
yeah. But that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. The wisdom of what you're doing, because people don't get it. Like, they're like, but my intuition said yes. But yeah. But how did you tune in? Like, I think there's a lot of
Exactly.
this. For most of us, we need more discernment. There's art. Some people are really good at like just knowing like it's right for them sometimes, maybe most of the time. But I think most of us slip up. We thought we got the guidance, but we didn't. We needed to, we also were getting other signals. We weren't paying attention. Oh, I thought I got a yes. Yeah, did you listen more deeply though? And
Well, and
I think
there's the subtle layers that show up. Is this the people pleaser saying yes? And you
right,
got
right,
the answer. So
right.
sometimes it's about remembering our history, who we've
Right.
been, because those are the subtle layers that continue.
Yeah.
Then we peel it layer by layer by layer. There's not a one and done of anything I've ever experienced.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so empathic. I've told this story many times, but and so protective of everybody. It's like when I was in fourth grade, there was a kid that had failed the grade before and was in our fourth grade, and I could just see he was going to totally mess the energy of the class. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to befriend him. Okay, I'll actually be a clown for him too, and distract him, basically, and I'll sort of get control maybe then, and maybe he won't mess with the other kid. And
Right?
then, eventually I had to tell him, no, I'm not going to do this anymore because obviously you can't just keep being a puppet for somebody. But like, that's my point. I absorbed it. And, and then once I said no, then it was like, catastrophic to me in a sense, because then I had this energy coming at me. It wasn't so much all the things they did to me. They didn't like throw me in a locker every day or all that type of stuff, but
Right?
it was just an energy that was coming to, it would say
The
things
animosity,
like
right?
that,
It's
but it wasn't,
animosity now.
it was nothing. Yeah, it was nothing insane most of the time. And I mean, they did have a kid kill one of my plants we were growing, which it was an awful feeling, But like, still, it's not the end of the world. But like, it was like these things, like this sensitivity I had was like, wow, it's like almost you can't believe it. Really? Like you hate me now? Like like the
Yeah.
outrage of like I can't believe like you don't understand as a kid. Like now, me as an adult, I can understand. Okay, you're wounded, you're doing these things, but as a
Exactly.
kid, you don't understand that. So I feel like, you know, we do all kinds of crazy things, trying to make things better for other people, by absorbing energy a lot. And that's like one of my big examples of my life. And there's just so many people listening that do it again and again, and they don't know they're doing it. So like getting back, we could go on and on about that, but like getting back to what you do to help. I think, having people in this longer container is mandatory. Like I would never allow people to, do very much with this one-to-one thing, like one session thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, maybe give them a taste type of thing, okay, fine,
Yeah.
maybe, right? But like to keep doing session to session, I would not, I would be like, listen, this is not the way to do this, and I'm sure you do, but that's what you need to do. You need to keep redirecting people to that. Now, if they do a longer container, let's get down into this so I can help look at ways to double your revenue. What is the length of a container typically?
It's been 3 to 6 months. I
It is.
prefer, I do prefer six because
Yeah.
we get into the deeper nuances just the longer that we're together, because
Hmm.
then you start to see those deeper layers and the wounds that we've done the glaring things. We've done the big things. We're like, oh my gosh, how is this still showing up? Because they're so subtle. And then we can clear that energy. Then the next thing, we've built so many layers of protection over ourselves, so many egoic ways of protecting the inner child. It's just endless. There comes a point where you're on solid ground and you
Right.
want to carry on because you like to have the accountability, or you feel good at 6 months. How did people carry on? Or they'll come back, they'll be around for a while and then they'll come back in a year or two. Hey, okay, I'm off track again, let me come back for a few more months. And
Right. And then what do you charge for a 6 month container with you? Just yeah, getting down into the business stuff.
yeah, at $9.99 a month. We do
Okay.
monthly. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. So yeah, I mean that's not too bad. I mean, compared to some of the stuff I hear, people charging
I've
so
done some of
little.
those stuff. I've done some of that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I mean, Yeah, so just multiply that by 10, you're right there then, like I just have to laugh, right? Work with just the high functioning people, yeah, up your market or no, I mean, so but yeah, no, that's not too bad. And then for the group, you said I wasn't quite clear on how you help people in there exactly, but I know
So
you
in the
heard that.
group, we do the group coaching. And so we have, I meet with them live twice a month on Zoom,
Mhm.
and I'll have something to share and to teach, something that I've been present to or aware of, whether it's my own stuff or energetically.
Mhm.
And then we do coaching
Mhm. Mhm.
together
Nice.
as a
Nice.
group. So we have that group energy. And so that one's $88 a month.
88 a month. Wow, that's a big I want to say big drop off.
Well, it's a
So
big difference because it's as a group, it's, we do the collective thing. And then as an
mm,
individual, you have solo, you have very personal, private.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so it's interesting to me. Are there a lot of people in the group or, how's that going?
It's been pretty small and intimate.
Smaller.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just leave it at that for now. And then on the one-to-ones, you usually have one or more people in it at a time, or is it what level is it usually? Like how many people are usually in a one-to-one with you at a time?
Like how many clients at a
Yeah,
time
how
in
many
a
clients do you
one-on-one? How
have?
much?
About okay, maybe that's the cleanest way
So
to
from a
say.
group to, okay. So I've had up to 5 to 10.
Okay. That's nice. Okay, good. Yeah.
That's a good energy level that I feel comfortable with.
Right, right, right. Where do most of your clients come from?
Where did most of them come from? It's been online and often friends
Online and friends. And how do they find you online?
from YouTube and Facebook. Those have been my two primary places.
That's good. And then you get some referrals from friends too. Are they
Yeah.
like online friends or like friends in the neighborhood type? I don't know, people like or
People I know, they've been in some networking. I've done some networking at the chamber and different things like that. So I've met people like that.
okay.
Some of them are in a 12-step program that I've been in
Mm-hmm.
for a long time. So I've worked with some of them outside of the program.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the YouTube channel a lot. I like that approach. And then how do you share yourself on Facebook? Because I haven't looked at that so much. I hadn't really looked into it yet.
Yeah, I've been cross-posting from YouTube and creating
Okay.
shorts from there. I used to do
Mm-hmm.
Facebook Lives, and then I went, I need a bigger audience, so let me go over here. So I've been cross-posting.
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll do like a specific post to whatever the short is, and whatever the thing is that I'm advertising or sharing a tip about or a tool.
And remind me, do you have a Facebook group then?
I do. It's called Empathic Superpower.
Oh, good. Empathic
Marti
superpower.
Forrest. Yeah,
Wow. And how many people are in the group?
440.
Okay. There's 40. All right, great. Yeah. Um, are people allowed to post about what's going on for them, like independently, like do their own posts?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, they
Uh,
can
do
come in and
people
post.
do people tend to complain a lot? Is it one of those empath groups, or is it more like a mix, or what kind of things do they usually share?
No, it's actually often a comment
Okay.
on something I've posted,
Okay.
and they'll share in there. I've experienced this. I've had that. And so it's actually often very raw about what's going on for them without giving, all they're
Right.
not word vomiting, but they're
Yeah.
sharing enough to know that they related to whatever I spoke of.
Nice.
And then I'll come
Nice.
back in and answer them and
There you go, guys.
sure.
That's a good resource for you right there. I mean, if you're enjoying what you're receiving. So yeah, I mean, definitely you're deep, you're a teacher. So I would think like these deep empathic people, like they eat up what you know and what you can do to help them. Um, so yeah, I was also thinking about things you've done so much Toastmasters and all that. Like there would be, yeah, I mean, how much like public speaking have you done on this subject, empathic stuff?
Public speaking has been more of the lives on YouTube and on
Okay.
Facebook, not
Right.
in person as much.
Yeah, in person is what I'm asking about. Yes.
Yeah, I haven't done a lot in person.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's where maybe you have to gather an audience potentially, but you can also, again, they say borrow an audience, right? So, are there groups, in your area that venues and whatnot, like there's all kinds of things here, like there's fairs and expos and all kinds of places where you could be speaking. Um, I think you could do really well. I think if you wanted to increase your business, I'm just assuming I'm assuming like, but yeah, I mean, if you wanted to, right, you said yeah. So if you're wanting to increase your business, I think like that is one of your leverage points where you could see it's not just more effort. I think like you would be like in person people would like gravitate to you even stronger is the feeling I'm getting. Yeah, like there's something about, because it's all about energy, right? So
Yes.
uh, meeting these people in person. Now, expos and things like that, there's lots of people. Sometimes if you're empathic, it can be challenging sometimes, but you're probably masterful enough to deal with that now. And so yeah, but that's what I'm getting for you is like I could see having booths and speaking and things like that. And there may be tons of other speaking opportunities, but that's kind of like a first level um, thought I'm getting like a sort of a download. Let me tune in a little deeper, but that's one of them. I really like that for you. Because there's tons of people like that there. Those like this mind, body, spirit, or whatever. In your area, I don't know, but hold on. Yeah. Huh. I don't know. I mean, definitely referrals, like so you're doing well with that. But I feel like I don't know. It's a weird thing. I'm seeing like someone slipping something like a note under the mat of a house, and it's like but I'm hearing referral. So I don't know why they're putting it on the mat. So that I don't understand.
No, either.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Huh. Yeah. I mean, the other thought I've had and is. Well, I do these energy scans, right? So like I start tuning in people's energy and tell them, all kinds of things that are going on for them. Um, do you utilize anything like that to connect with people initially, maybe? Like that's one of the things I teach people to do. Do you do any like tuning in, like let me tune into your energy, your chakras, or any of that stuff?
I do tune into their energy. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
And do you offer that as like an inlet to initially connect with you? Do you offer that yet?
Yes, I
Oh,
do.
nice.
That's one of
Nice.
the things here. Shall we talk about that? And
Yeah, a perfect
email
opening,
me
right?
at so yeah, 30
I didn't
minute
read the full description, so
30-minute session of
yeah.
that exact thing, reading the energy, calibrating your energy, where you're leaking your energy, and how you cannot leak your energy. So you can email Marty at empathicsuperpower.com, spiritual rockstar. And I know
Hmm.
he can hear. And then
Hmm.
we'll set up the time and do a 30-minute session at no charge. It's just a way to meet people and the door
Right,
waiting.
right,
Yep.
right, right, right. Right. So guys, if you didn't catch that the first time, we'll also have it in the show notes, but also you could always replay it, right? Like don't just space out now, you let this opportunity pass you by, as they say. I mean, truly, I mean, she's gonna have deep insights for you, you can tell, right? So and don't be afraid to hear, what's insight she has. Um, my guess is she's like an ogre at the end, and she's gonna eat your children and take your credit cards. And no, I think it's just probably the opposite. It's like, well, um, yeah, yeah, you want more help? Sure, yeah, right. So,
It's truly that. I
yeah,
work with a lot of people. I do
yeah,
12-step work with people, but if it's willingness, are you willing to take
yeah,
the action?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
can give you all the information, but if you're not willing to do anything about it, it's just great
Right,
information.
right, right,
Yeah,
right.
and it's
At
not to
least you would
scare
have.
anybody, but it's, if you want only information, great. You'll have information.
Right, right, right. And maybe that's all people want. I know I do tons of
Uh,
scans. That's all they want to say. Just give me your downloads. All right,
and
thank you.
sometimes that's all somebody needs is that insight to know
Hmm.
what their next step is or what
Right.
the next thing for them to take action on is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, all right,
Yeah, it's
guys, take
no pressure.
advantage
There's
of
no
that.
pressure thing on that. It's not pressure it's not a hard sell. I am not that.
That's right. That's what I was trying to get that across. Yeah.
I,
So
I
anyway,
just yeah, I just say it like it is, right? I'm not that. If you want to work together, great. If you don't, great. But either way, you get information and some correction in your field and coherence.
yeah, I guess you just won't be mean enough for them, huh?
No, I'm
Anyway.
not mean. I'm direct.
Right, right, right. No, I think it's good. So, Marty at empathicsuperpower.com.
Yes, and it's Marti.
Yes, that's a good note.
RT at empathic superpower, and it's all spelled correctly.
Yeah. Make sure you let her know that you came from here. Just put in Spiritual Rockstar in the subject line. Okay, so yeah, we'll put all that in the show notes. So so one of the glaring things is the group to me. And so I feel there's an opportunity for you. Now, maybe it's not that group. I don't know, but like I get this feeling like there's this higher level group you could have, where it'd be much more, yeah, because I just think that the 88 just doesn't sound right. I don't know what you're teaching and how it
Well,
really all works in
well,
there, but
there's an inner circle. I do have a
yeah.
higher level inner
Oh, you
circle.
do have one. Okay. And how
Yeah,
much does that one cost then?
and that one's 500 a month.
Okay, now we're talking. I was looking for that one. I'm like, there's something missing
Well,
here.
like the empath circle, the empath channel is more of an entry. If you want to get in, you want to get the feel
Yeah,
of what's going
sure.
on. And people are at where they are in their life, and some people are going to go, "Oh, 500. Oh, but 88 bucks. Let me try that, and then if I want to upgrade,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, one of the things, getting a yes and maybe a little bit of a no. Well, with the right people, I think, you could have a higher level service. How many times do they meet with you a month in the one-to-one container?
to twice
Okay.
schedule twice, and then if there's some kind of I really need to talk right now, then
Mm-hmm.
I'm open to that. Those are
Oh,
not long conversations. Those are usually, sometimes that's enough to be in Telegram and leave me a message. Sometimes people need a more hands-on.
they have Telegram access then to you
Hmm.
one-to-one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so I mean, I feel that one of the downloads I'm getting is or whatever, wherever it's coming from, but like it feels like a download. Uh, 'Cause I think it's funny. We all say that, right? But like the feeling I'm getting is around like a VIP sort of offer. Do you have offer one of those yet?
I don't. I can resonate with that though.
Yeah. So I would come up with a VIP sort of offer, whether it's half day or full day or something like that. And because I think like you have so much you can work with people on rapidly, and I think some people would be good for that, like they could manage that, and other people may need more of a drip. So what if there was a like, okay, we're gonna do VIP, then we're gonna meet like maybe even a little bit more intensively, right? Like can have a VIP month even, like like, or call it something else if you want to, but you could call it a VIP or, I don't know, boot up fast, track or something. Well, you talk about calibration, right? So recalibrate or calibrate, recalibrate fast or whatever. And I bet you will have takers. There'll be certain people that will want that, and that's where you can go a little more premium, and then or a lot more premium. That's where we're talking. It depends on how you package all the stuff I'm talking about, but you could go 5K, 8K just for one month, even a day, right? I mean, even one day. But
Absolutely.
so yeah, I think like that is like that can add, whatever, like 20% to your business at least. So, but yeah, I think like that's something that could become a mainstay that you're doing multiple times a year at least. Like I could see that happening. So that's one level. I'm also getting channeling with you. Do you do any channeling of like angels or guides formally in these programs or?
Yes, I have, and I do, and I used to do cards, and I have a ton of cards, but I haven't done them as much recently. But yes, absolutely. Short answer is yes.
Do you do it on your channel on YouTube? Do you do the channeling?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay, good, good. Because I see that as being, do you do it fairly regularly?
Typically, when I'm on live, it is being channeled. I don't script it. I have a
Okay,
topic.
so what I mean by channeling is a little different than maybe what you're talking about. I'm
Okay.
saying like, you close your eyes, okay, I'm bringing in the angels and the guides and everything, and you start like sharing the information you're getting from them directly or through your voice, letting the energy speak through you. So are you doing any of that yet?
I have done some of that.
Okay.
Yes.
So do more of it.
Okay.
That's
I've been
my
feeling that.
guidance for you.
Yeah, I've been feeling that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think you could create bake that into your overall, group container for sure. Like and definitely one to one too. But like I feel like there's more there for you to bring forth into your work. And I think that'll help you stand out even more. And then upticking these, amounts over time would be advised then, like, well, especially the one-to-one has plenty of room to grow. I mean, you have plenty of room to grow there. And so we could optimize, of course, like you talk about high functioning, right? So I'm sure you've been doing this for a while, but like, of course, you can especially target certain offers to people who are high functioning empaths because they will tend to be doing better and be in a better place at least to invest. Of course, we all know like people are broke to find the money anyway, but like my point is on average they'll tend to be better clients to be working intimately with, right? And have more resources and stuff, and it's just easier sometimes. So, but I also feel like you're helping them to connect by you showing up with more of your gifts and going even more kind of woo or whatever, you're going to help more of them to do that, especially these high functioning empaths. So I could see more training coming in that form. Like, oh, I have this sort of new training where we're training you to channel your guides more or whatever in this deeper way or something like that. Again, I don't know the ins and outs of what you do, but I'm getting something around that.
Definitely been feeling the channeling as I've watched other people, and so feeling that for sure.
Hmm.
Teaching others. I'm a great teacher, so yeah, that could be definitely an avenue.
Yeah. Yeah. Teaching others to do maybe this deeper channeling and stuff. And there could be a lot more to it, but we only have so much time to go over everything today. But like
Right?
I feel there's more you can build out. I feel like your capacity in terms of the work you're doing in your business, like if you're energized, like you could easily work another, I'm hearing like 40% more time. Like you would be fine. You'd be like, I'm just living bliss. Like, like it's
Yeah.
possible. Of course you have to do it in doing the right type of work, right? But so my point is there's room to grow. And as you become more magnetic, it's going to be big. Now there may be some energy encumbrances. Again, the stabbing energy I noticed in the solar plexus. So like, maybe a sense of or people taking, like they're just, uh, yeah. I'm going to start giving, then something's going to happen, and some things are going to be at risk, or they're going to take from me ultimately. So there's still some concerns in the energy I sense with that. And the more your presence grows, there's more of a sense of, well, what's going to come towards me, you know? So, um, so yeah. So anyway, so those are all, you know, again, just some of the highlights of stuff I'm picking up on initially. But yeah, as we create the more the activation and your overall energy and your power and your radiance, even to expand it. It's all, you know that. So it's just expanding, you know, your energy to be as strong as it can be, you know, to bring in, you know, all those opportunities, because you're being like such a even a more expanded container, and more power, you know, is radiating from your power center and more. So yeah, so that's and I think you can gain some of that certainly through the channeling and what you already know what to do. Um, but yeah, I would nudge your prices up on the one-to-one in the near future. Maybe 50, even 50% would be good start. And then honestly, you probably won't see any drop off. They'll be like, oh, okay, whatever. You know, like 50% increase. I bet the people coming in won't know, even barely be like, okay, no problem. Yeah. So that's what I'm sensing. You need to get past that $1,000 terror barrier. You know, yeah. There's a reason
Thank
why it's
you.
just only $1 under 1,000. I know it. So
Thank you
anyway,
for that. Yeah.
so if you actually take all those steps, you will definitely double your business.
For real. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm liking it.
Okay, good.
Liking that.
Good stuff. All right, wonderful. Well, so everybody take advantage of her gift. That she'll tune in to you, and you'll discover all kinds of things. Just message her at Marti at empathicsuperpower.com. Put in Spiritual Rockstar into the subject line. And if you guys want to connect with me, go to yoursacredpurpose.com and go ahead and get the meditate and make money meditation, uh, free meditation, and then you'll get access to my world. You know, I want to say you'll get access to these podcasts regularly. You'll be able to get notified that way. And I share content that we got high engagement on anyway. So people that love to hear from the wisdom I have to share about you as a light worker, empath, whatever, you know, to rock your purpose and your path. Twice a week, I send out just mostly purely content. Sometimes I'm inviting you to something as well. And there's plenty. When I'm advertising things, it's often so you can get a free energy scan for me. Sometimes paid stuff too, but a lot of stuff I share is all about just you receiving gifts and opportunities as well. So, all right, guys. So if you're interested in that, hey, jump in. The water's good, like I always say, right? Go to yoursacredpurpose.com. All right. Okay, Marti. So I get we're having such a good time. I'm like, wow, time really flew. We're going even longer than I thought. So time flies when two empaths get together. All
I
right.
know. Yes.
So do you have any last words of wisdom for the audience today?
Listen to your first instinct when your body speaks.
Like that. All right. Very good. Thank you for being on the show today, Marti. Awesome. I love what you're doing.
Thank you very much for having me.
Good thing. All right. And much love to everybody listening. Like I always say, keep on tuning in. We'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till next time. For listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.